the clips. I got some Simpson. Oh, that was fucking good too. What's up, court nerds? Time to get served. It's your boy Phil. How you doing, guys? What's up? Welcome to the channel. It's been a little over a week. The channel's been growing. The comments are flowing. The love you are showing. It's unbelievable. Channel's been growing so much. The outpour of love, the comments. But I just want to say one thing. I'm going to stay true to myself. I'm going to stop apologizing. I'm just going to be me. I'm going to do what I got to do. And to one of my subscribers who've been here from the very start, Addie, I just want to say thank you for always backing me up in the comments. So, what do we got today? Simpson catches a scumlord. So let's roll, nerds. Simpson.
This is the trial.
I'm aware of that, right?
Essentially, we haven't reached any kind of agreement thus far, and we're prepared to try the case today.
All right, sir.
I would like for you to just put her out of my house.
Okay. How much are you claiming is owed in rent?
Oh, he's representing himself, huh? Simpson had it with him already. Done. Keep an eye on the man in the orange jacket.
600,
How much is monthly rent?
1,300.
There's a dispute over that, Your Honor.
I figured as much. All right. Does the defendant claim or acknowledge that she owes any rent?
She acknowledges that there is back rent, but definitely dispute the actual figure that Mr. Johnson has, as well as the monthly rent.
Listen closely to my question. Does she acknowledge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how much does she acknowledge that she does that?
Your Honor, it's unclear to us. There was we believe there was a large payment made with assistance late last year. We were unable to obtain those records, and the court may have them. I just looked at the June file and it wasn't there. There's a dispute about whether the unilateral increase of $300 a month is lawful. So we don't have a great accounting. We do think that 4 years of code violations would abate, and a month without hot water would abate every penny of rent that he claims due. If we can come to an establish a number.
So you're saying that the increase took effect, Mr. Johnson, correct me if I'm wrong, took effect in April of 2022. And sir, do you have, how did you effectuate that increase?
I told her.
Okay, what date did you tell her?
Told her on April the 1st. In honor of God.
Well, hold on. Well, you can't tell her April 1.
Well, I had told her February was going to be going up. That's why I had
Tell her, did you tell her the amount?
Yes, I did, sir. I advised her that in February 2022 to need to move.
Okay, that's fine. That's not the question I asked you.
Yes, and I told her.
That's not the question I asked you.
Yes,
So it answered my question.
I told her in February that the rent would be going up
Do what?
1,300.
Does the defendant acknowledge that or no?
No, she does not. She acknowledges that he told her that the rent was going up. She doesn't acknowledge that she signed in writing or agreed to the rent increase.
Well, my understanding, there is no lease.
So, month to month.
There was a written lease that we're pretty sure that the terms still, even though now it's technically month to month, the terms of the written lease that was never, it still carries over from month to month.
In April, it was month to month of 2022, correct?
Yes.
So why would there need to be, if she acknowledges, why would there need to be something in writing about the increase?
Well, I don't think she ever agreed to have the rent increase.
Would it matter?
To my understanding, I think she would need to acknowledge that the rent was increasing.
There's a difference between acknowledgement and agreement. Would she need to agree to that rental increase?
I suppose not, Your Honor.
Suppose not, or no, that she does not have to?
If if you say that she doesn't have to,
I didn't say anything. I'm asking you.
to my understanding, I thought that in Michigan, you had to agree in writing to any rental increase. But if that's not the case,
Well, then you need to show me something that says that. Do you have anything that shows that?
we don't have it at the moment. I'm sorry, Your Honor.
So if somebody has a month-to-month lease and the landlord tells them, let's say, I'm just going to pick a date, I'm not saying it is applicable to this case, but let's say it's February 1st, that your rent's going to increase to $1,300 effective April 1st. Is that an effective rent increase?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. So she acknowledges at some point he told her.
Yes, Your Honor.
When?
Oh.
He just said it was gonna go up and he was gonna let me
Yeah.
know what it was going up to.
Okay, so your client, why don't we do this? Can I have the defendant and the plaintiff put under oath, please?
Raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name.
Calvin Jones.
No, sir.
Ma'am. Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
State your name.
Denitra Walker.
All right. I guess before we begin the formalized portion of the trial, I'm just trying to figure out the parameters of what we're dealing with. She's indicated, or at least I overheard her state, and counsel is at the representation, that there was not an indication of how much.
Yes, Your Honor.
Was she ever told, ma'am, that rent would be $1,300?
When we met with you, the last time we were sitting here, that's when the $1,300 a month came up.
So, Mr. Johnson, January of 2022, there was a rent payment.
Yeah, that was the last one I received.
All right.
You gotta need more.
So then in February, you did not receive that.
No, I did not. Sir. And that's when
The January payment, I didn't ask you anything. January of 2022, how was that paid?
Okay.
How?
Okay.
He gave you $1,000 in cash in January.
And that's when she gave me, on went to the store and got it.
Your Honor,
A what?
Went to the store and got the money out of Kroger's.
Out of, she got the money out of where?
Kroger's.
Okay, but how did she pay you?
Kroger's. Got the money from the Kroger's store.
Okay. But was it cash?
Yes,
Did she went to Kroger, got $1,000? What?
I went and got it. She gave me the card and I went and got it.
Ma'am, how did you pay your January rent?
Oh, January and February, I gave Calvin my debit card because I was in the from the motorcycle accident, I couldn't go. So
Okay.
I gave him, and
So do you have those bank records?
I didn't know to pull him, but he just told you honestly, I always give him.
Well, hold on. All right, fine. But that would account for January.
in February, Your Honor.
No.
Well,
Her testimony, that's February also.
I heard that. I'm really not deaf when I'm sitting here. Where are the bank records indicating a withdrawal in February?
Your Honor, we don't have them.
Why?
I'm not sure that Ms. Walker knows how to find them.
Can I answer the question? Your Honor, honestly, I thought we would have time to get you from, because what's missing is the syrup, the big payment Sarah gave him of the 26,000 in my bank.
Oh, I'm not even there yet. Hey, folks, that's probably why this isn't settled.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking at February. And you're saying that you paid him $1,000.
Yeah. And if you would like to put my daughter on the witness stand?
No, I would not.
Right there. Right there.
Ma'am, please.
Yes, sir.
So I don't have the bank records of that. And I'm not entirely sure why. You say there was a Sarah payment.
Yes, sir.
When was that Sarah payment?
How would you tell them that they gave you? the
No,
$26,000?
ma'am. Do you recall when that Sarah payment was?
They did it with my husband, my late husband, and Calvin's name. I don't know how to use the email. That's the problem, but Calvin and, Widow, everything went to their email and Calvin received the $26,000 check.
Do you recall when that was received? Or when that process took place?
I want to say it was the end of 21, maybe the beginning, it had to be the end of 21. If that's when I was going to.
So you believe that it was somewhere in the latter part of 2021?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive a check from Sarah?
That was for.
That I'm not. Just answer my question, please.
Yes, but I gotta give you, it was from a payment that they didn't make from the year before. I didn't get any money for this time. They've been late. Ever since they've been in the house, they've been late.
When did you get the payment from Sarah?
Probably was 2021 February, somewhere in that time.
Probably some that, I mean,
Yes, February, and that, it was early in the year, but it was from about the past year, what they owed me, where they was late on rent, and they went through and got that money. That was not covering this particular situation.
Council, did you go check regarding Seraphim's?
We didn't have a chance to check on the Sarah funds.
Your Honor, I called and it was, they had, they couldn't give me information. I had to get a release and the rest of it, and we had a week. And by the time we rolled around, we just couldn't get that information. We're missing the HUD VASH. Might have the lease, they weren't quite sure, but it was like a month out. Like, we did everything we could within the last 7 days when we came on the case, but it was just unable to get any oral confirmation or documents out of Hawk and anything out of the vets other than we need a release and we might not have it, but we might be able to share it with you, but she has to come in and we've been working hard, but it's just, it's slower than we'd like. We didn't know whether the court, I went and checked the June 22 case. There was another case between the parties. There was no record of the Sarah payment there. Her position is she got paid in late November or late 21, and they paid, as we know, they were paying prospectively 3 or 4 months and cured all the deficiencies. So the water bill going back 7 years surprises us for a number of reasons. We're obviously operating in less than ideal informational situation because of the time constraints.
Serious Simpson.
Mr. Johnson, what is the additional
Like that.
$600 from the time of the
Sure.
filing of
On
the
underneath.
complaint? Where does that come from?
That's the late fee, Your Honor.
The People versus Barry White.
Do you have records, Mr. Johnson, prior to 2022 that would indicate? Do you have a ledger of what's been paid on this?
Paid on what?
On this property?
On the what?
Do you have a ledger other than this document that the court received January 19th showing payments made on the account? I don't know what you're holding up. Are you holding up the document you gave to the court?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Prior to, and that document starts February 2022.
Yes.
Prior to that time, is there a ledger or anything showing an accounting or showing what this account was? Okay, where is that?
I don't have that with me.
All right. Ms. Walker-Stokes, you, and I guess counsel, is your client admitting that she hasn't paid any rent for March, April, May, June, July, August, September?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Outside of what you may claimed to be deficiencies in the property, and we'll get to that in a moment. Is it your belief that part of those Sarah funds would have covered that, a portion of that period?
A portion of that period, yes.
So if that were the case, why would she make a payment to him in January and February?
Uh-oh.
The same reason I have been since Hud Bash cut out because he didn't do the repairs. They stopped paying. So our agreement was, I keep, as long as I get him $1,000 a month. We were buying the house from. That was because Hud Bash, all we were supposed to pay of the rent was $357. But because Calvin wouldn't do the repairs, Hud Bash completely stopped paying. And he just made me keep.
When did they stop paying?
They stopped paying in 2019, and he's making.
Okay. Fine.
Your Honor, if I may, I don't know that I think he said he received the funds from Sarah in 2022. So if they initiated that
That's
process,
not what he said.
no,
No, that's not what he said.
He told you 21, that's why I let you know it was the lease going to Ghana, because with Sarah, we had to have a lease.
That's partially what I'm getting at, folks. I really do understand a whole lot more than I look like I understand.
Oh, I know you know.
But I'm trying to figure out why if Sarah paid, why were you paying the $1,000?
$1,000 supposed to go towards the money towards us buying a house. So every $1,000 payment I give him, how he wrote up with the land contract for us to buy it, he takes the money and he didn't do none of the repairs.
I didn't ask about the repairs. I asked why you were paying the $1,000.
So it's deducted off the cost of the house, us buying.
Okay, all right, thank you. So, Mr. Johnson, going back into 2021, was she paying you $1,000?
No, they was late. Then.
I didn't ask if they were late. Were they paying you $1,000 per month?
Supposed to be. But that's when the money came from the people that they gave me the money from 2021.
So in 2021, you received a payment from Sarah.
Catch him up for a portion of 2021.
For just a portion of 2021?
Portion.
Okay, then was she giving you a payment from whatever that portion that Sarah didn't catch up? I'll put it this way. Was she paying you $1,000?
No.
Okay, then I'm a bit unclear. If she wasn't paying, hold on. She wasn't paying you $1,000. So you're claiming that it was early part of 2021. That's just by way of example. If I go back to January 2021, if as customary with the Sarah program, they would pay 3 months in advance. Okay, that would get her to April, let's say, or pay her through March even. Then did she for 2021 pay you $1,000 per month?
I don't know exactly when she didn't pay me.
No. Listen closely to my question. And I'm going based upon the facts you're giving me. If in January, early part of 2022 or 2021, they give you a large check, right? Okay, now you're saying that that had to make up previous balances, and that's fine. But HUD would customarily then pay, or not HUD, but Sarah would customarily pay going forward. So if they paid 3 months going forward, just follow my dates here, they would be somewhere around the end of March. So that then her obligation would have to continue, whatever her payments are, would have to continue from April. So from April through, just go to the end of the year, well, to January at least of 2022, did she pay you $1,000 a month?
She paid me January and February. January, and that was it.
2021.
22.
21. I'm talking about 2021. You told me you got a Sarah payment.
Yeah.
When did you get the Sarah payment? You said when?
Like March, April or something.
Of when?
Of 2021.
Okay. So if you got that payment in March or April of 2021, just follow my dates. If we say that they paid 3 months in advance, okay? So let's say you got it February. Then I'd have March, April, May that would be paid, right? June through the end of the year in 2021, did she give you $1,000 each month?
Yeah.
Oh, he's screwed.
So from the time the Sarah payment finished, she paid you the $1,000 per month.
Her portion, yes.
What do you mean her portion?
After that money ran out that they gave me, then she started paying the $1,000.
Uh-oh.
Sure what that means.
Okay, they paid me the money, and it was like maybe April.
Okay, let stop. Did at any given point in time, did you give the Sarah program a ledger?
Yes.
Did you give them a lease?
So they did not ask for it.
They never asked you for a lease.
I don't know what she did. She might have.
No, I'm not asking what she did. Did you give them a lease?
No, I did not.
Sign a lease.
So
The property's address is 1717 Dover Court.
correct.
Words. No, in all seriousness, Simpson's getting to the bottom of this. I mean, you could see where his law lawyer expertise is coming into here. He's getting to the bottom of this.
1717 Dover Court in Ipsy.
He smells fish, baby.
All right.
Blood in the water.
And so everything being equal, let's say, just by way of example, that the property was in good repair. I realize what your allegations are, but her last payment, you acknowledge, was February of 2022.
Yes, Your Honor.
You acknowledge. All right. Right now, I'm attempting to just see if I could just shortcut that process and get some Sarah information regarding this account.
Look at him. He's like a bloodhound. Smelling the bullshit.
What are the specifics of, while I wait on that, we can get it. What are the specifics on the repair issue?
Yeah, sure, Your Honor. So we have, in addition to photos from 2 weeks ago, a ledger of 24 items that needed repairs back in 2019, collected by the Ann Arbor Housing Commission. And many of those repairs have not been completed. The house failed an inspection.
Are you going to share those with me or no?
Yeah, certainly. And Ms. Walker is prepared to testify about the conditions as well as the photos.
The letter from, who's the letter from?
The Ann Arbor Housing Commission. We have that.
Has Mr. Johnson seen that?
It was addressed to him, Your Honor, but I'll give him another copy.
Thank you.
Can I approach, Your Honor?
Mr. Johnson, I'm going to mark this as Defendant's Exhibit A. It's got a tab on it. But you see that letter from 2019?
The one I just gave you, sir.
In the columns that are checked with an X under landlord, did you do any of those repairs?
All of them.
Was there a reinspection of the premises?
Yeah, but she lost the thing,
Lost what thing?
money from them.
Your Honor,
What do you mean she lost it?
They quit giving her the money.
But hold it, sir. The commission was paying you,
Yeah, first.
and then hold on. the commission was paying you. And then if there was a difference, you would get that from the defendant, right? Okay, so at some point, the commission stopped paying you, right? So it was because of repairs, wasn't it?
No,
Why did they stop paying you?
well, because she was supposed to have been out of my house in 2018.
No, that's not why they stopped paying you.
I'm just explaining what happened before. 2018, she was supposed to have been put out of my house. Then her and her husband called me and begged me to let them stay in their buy the house.
Your Honor, just so the court understands, we were unable to find any post inspection after that date.
What are those?
It was the ones that supposed to have been put out of my house.
What are they?
From you,
From me?
yes.
From me.
Go to counsel. I don't know what you're talking about.
These are notices to appear in a case in March of the winter, spring of 2018. In a different case, there's not, they're just they're simply notices to appear. There's no.
I don't need those.
Yeah, there's
I
no
don't know.
judgment, there's no.
I don't know what. Sir, let's go back to the Housing Commission payments. At some point, those payments stopped. When was that,
I can't
according to
recall.
your record? Okay. Do you know why they stopped?
I don't know. I can't remember when it happened.
So, sir, could it have been because repairs weren't done to the premises, so they seek
No.
the subsidy?
I did the repairs.
Was there a reinspection of the premises?
Can't recall.
Can't recall.
Every time I repaired it, they tore it back up.
That is not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, at some point, you're receiving funds directly from the Ann Arbor Housing Commission, their program under some voucher or some subsidy, right?
Yeah.
At some point, that stops. And I'm asking you, why did it stop?
I think it was because I was putting them out the house, I guess.
Well, so they don't stop it for that reason.
Oh,
Do you recall getting that letter, which is marked as Defendant's Exhibit A from the Housing Commission?
no, I do not.
Did you say you recall doing those repairs?
Yes.
And did the subsidy turn back on?
No, it never turned back on.
Did you call them out for an inspection?
No.
A re-inspection of the premises? Why not?
Because I was trying to get them out of my house. And then her and her husband said they wanted to buy the house. So that's why I let them stay. And that was the thing we came up with. And they was both been getting a loan, which they never got.
Okay. But now you're claiming that she owes you this rent. And what's clear to me in 2019, at least sometime in 2018, 19, it was, or a portion of her rent was paid for by the housing.
At one point, yes.
Okay. And at some point that stopped.
Yeah.
And what was the rental rate when the housing commission was paying? Where are your records?
I think it was
Where are your records of the payment? At your house? Go get them. Court to stand in recess. I want to see them.
He shuts the whole court
I
down.
want to know when that
Go get 'em.
stopped. I want records of any communication you have
Fudged.
or had with the Ann Arbor Housing Commission
Who's the
regarding
court
her subsidy. Because, sir, you're the one bringing this complaint. You got to show me that rent is even owed
Mofo.
on this. The folks, the court's going to stand in recess while I try to get the Sarah information. He goes and gets that.
Look at Simpson. I got it. No, I can't. No. I got it. All right, so I'm just going to go through. We're going to find right when he comes back. Mr. Johnson comes back. Simpson does some investigating, and we come to our conclusion. Ain't I getting better at this, boys and girls? Let's see that. Look at that master mouse work. I am editor, chief. I'm the whole shebang, baby. Look at that. I am editor of the year.
What check stub?
Oh, Siri, it wasn't 26,000, it was 15,000.
Let them see it. I don't know what that is.
Your Honor, just for the record, what she'll testify to is that some of the money went to the water company.
I know. I've got all those details.
Oh, okay, great.
I got him, bruh.
Okay, so this is your ledger. Okay, and so, Mr. Johnson, what happened? So did you August, September, October, November, and December of 2021? Are you saying you didn't get payment?
That's what that check is for.
No, I don't think so. Okay, so
He knows.
if you got paid March, April, May, June, July. So you got $1,000 for March, April, May, June, July of 2021. So that's 5,000. Then we also know that you received January by what you're saying, but not February of this year, right? Okay. So, Mr. Johnson, did you find any records regarding why the Housing Commission stopped paying?
No, I did not.
You found this check stub, but couldn't find that. Okay. Because my suspicion is the reason they stopped paying is because there was no reinspection. And so they terminated the subsidy. I mean, that's not really that hard to figure out. But we got another problem, Mr. Johnson. Just so that the parties are aware, and I'll be more than happy to give this to you, but we received a document from the court liaison indicating that Wendell Stokes, then the Sarah number at Dover Court, and the landlord Calvin Johnson was approved in October 21st, 2021 for rental assistance, which was for 11 months from March of 2021 through January of 2022. The total rent relief was $15,800. There was then a utility assistance of $2,500, which was to Superior Township. So the total assistance was $18,300. The $15,800 is evidenced by the receipt that was received. But Mr. Johnson, we've got a problem. Because your receipt of that money given what you've testified here to today, may constitute fraud.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. How is that?
Gotcha!
Covered, and I'm going by your record. The rental period that's covered by the Sarah assistance was March of 2021 through January of 2022, which means when she paid you the $1,000 in January of 2022, you had already been paid for that month. Further, your records indicate that for the months of March of 2021, April of 2021, May of 2021, June of 2021, and July of 2021, those 5 months, you also received double payment. So, because you got her $1,000 by your own admission, but you also took Sarah funding.
No. She went and did that.
Did what?
She asked them for extra money. I
Whoa,
don't.
whoa, 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 whoa. No. You're not going to put that on her. That's on you. You can't bill her. You can't tell her, I want my rent when you've already received rent for that period in time. That check came to you. It didn't go to her to then give to you. It came directly to you. And with that check, because I've been dealing with the SARE program since it started, that check told you exactly what months there are. Outside of that, you really want to argue it, I can go get the documentation from the folks at the SARE program that's going to show your disclosure of what was owed. And I'm going to tell you, they wouldn't pay because you had to give them a ledger or something to tell them to pay from March through to the period that they covered.
You can't handle the truth.
Look real good for you. And then the problem, Mr. Johnson, is that when you then make that representation to Sarah, you're then taking their money. And then even though Sarah paid for part of this year, at least January of this year, you still took her money.
What a douche.
So we got a choice. I mean, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, but this is clear evidence of fraud on the Sarah program. I'm going to let Sarah know, and they can decide that they're going, whether or not they wish to turn it over to the United States Attorney's Office, because that's who would cover it. Because you took federal monies, or maybe this AG's office, and they're going to want it back. But here's the bottom line. You're the plaintiff in this case. You have the burden of proof. And I can't believe these records. Because you're shaking your head telling me you didn't take the money. You also told me, which is really odd, even though this shows something different, that you told me before I took the break, that she paid all the way through 2021. Which is why your claim is only for the 50. Yes. Oh, you want me to play it back? You want me to play it back?
I said the check came from in 2020.
No, that is not what you said, because you were a year off from your check in terms of what you were saying. Again, I look stupid. I'm not. I hear everything everybody's saying, and I get it. Because I asked you specifically for the January, had she paid prior to that? You told me yes. And then you tried to tell me that the ceremony was from some time period before that. So if what you told me under oath was true before, you actually took $1,000 from her all of 2021, where 9 of those months you shouldn't have. And then you took the January payment, which you shouldn't have.
Wah, wah, wah.
Mr. Johnson, that's fraud. Because of the representations that you made. You can shake your head all you want. If you want to see the email, I show you the email. I read it to you. If you want to see it when you got paid.
I understand that, but she the one put that paperwork in. I'm just saying.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You're going to sit up there and blame her for putting the paperwork in, but you took the money. And so you didn't participate in any of that at all. You didn't tell Sarah anything. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that she did. Let's say she's to blame for all of this. You received those funds for a certain period of time and then took her money. So if you want me to do the math, this is even before. So quite frankly, even before I get to the point of regarding this, I can tell you, I have a feeling she paid you February. And so at best, we're at 14,000. I count an additional 10 to 12 months. Well, from what you told me, there would be 10 plus the other 2 or the other 1. So you're overpaid 10 months, which makes this at best a $2,000 claim. I will tell you also then that when I start looking at the repairs that needed to be done, I don't think they were done, but we can do one or two things. I will adjourn it so that we can get the Housing Commission record, because I don't think you did it. I think I know how this works. That subsidy was cut off because you didn't do repairs and or didn't have the property inspected.
Oh, because she wanted to buy the house, that's what we.
Well, I can dismiss this case now, or I'll adjourn it out. We'll get the Housing Commission records, because I know what happened. I know, I can tell from looking at that one letter. I can tell. Your call.
Around my house.
I don't care what you want. Then you need to do things right. You're sitting on what can be a fraud complaint. So don't sit up there and look at me like you're some innocent little creature playing in this whole thing. Because here you are taking federal government money and taking this woman's money. And if you think this judge forgets that, you are way wrong. So what's your choice? You want me to adjourn it so we can go ahead and get that information, or you want to get rid of this thing right now?
What are you gonna do, Mr. Johnson?
I dismiss the case.
I love Simpson.
What about my bill for the water bill and all that?
Tough tits. Simpson's like, you got balls, dude.
I don't believe that she's responsible for the water bill at all. I think she's willing to testify that under the terms of the lease, that wasn't her responsibility and never really was since they moved in.
What I love about little attorneys, when they're ahead, they just keep talking. Thank you. What do you want to do, Mr. Johnson?
What I have to do to get out of my house?
I don't know that that's an answer to my question.
This is the most serious Simpson moment ever.
And I'm not here to give you legal advice. Except to tell, I will give you this bit of legal advice. With what I see here, you're in a whole world of hurt if they come after you.
You're screwed.
Tell you that much. You get those other records?
No.
You want the case dismissed? Case dismissed.
You hear that? Blasphemy!
Oh,
What a show.
We can go off. 14A stands adjourned.
Bravo.